Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Camille Smith, a counselor for interpersonal violence and a long-term advocate for domestic violence. October is Domestic Violence Month, and I wanted to come and talk to you today about child abuse and domestic violence targeted against children, specifically targeted against children for sexual violence purposes. And I wanted to talk about how easy it is to lose track of what could be happening in your child's life. So I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios in which I, as a counselor, have been told by survivors of childhood sexual violence on when certain things have happened to them that they have never revealed to their parents or did not reveal to their caregivers until a much longer time afterward. Okay, so I just want to do this to have caregivers and parents on the alert. For instance, over the years, there have been a number of persons who have told me that as children, when they were sent to the local tuck shop, they were assaulted and molested by persons in the tuck shop. Maybe they were sent to the neighborhood store and you wouldn't have expected that to have been going on, and they were molested in the store. Other persons have shared with me that they would have gone over to relatives' houses just to visit for a particular purpose, to visit a family member or something like that, and the family would be gathered perhaps in the living room, and the one child would be lured away and molested by an older relative in the home, and sometimes molested by other cousins. So I just want to bring some of these scenarios and concerns to parents, as this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, that even in your own home, you have to be careful of the kinds of scenarios that may be going on in your own home that you might not be aware of. Say, for instance, you have relatives coming over or sleepovers happening to the house. Adults shouldn't be walking around in their underwear in front of young children or even teenage children, because that sends the wrong kind of message of familiarity. It's very difficult to keep track of when something may be going on in a home, and it's very difficult for children to reveal when they have had sexual violence perpetrated against them, particularly if it's a family member, and particularly if it's a family member or a friend of the family that everybody seems to trust. So it's very difficult for children to come out and say these things. But what is most important is that when you finally have a child who comes out and says these things, we need to believe them. We need to sit with them. We need to listen with them. We don't need to be accusing them of being too fast, of getting themselves in situations that as if they meant for the situation to happen. They didn't mean for an older adult in the family to come and molest them. They don't even know how to handle that cognitively. We need to understand that even when these things are revealed later on in life, when these young children get older and they finally reveal what has happened, maybe now they're able to cognitively understand what happened. But years before, they were not able to do that. And so we need to take the time to be sensitive in dealing with these things. We need to really stop accusing these children of being too fast, too forward, too quick to get into situations, and we need to trust them and understand that if they are coming forward, we need to take the time to listen to them. Children need to be listened to. They need to be believed. At least you could check out the situation. You could sit with them and ask them, what's happening? We need to pay attention to them when all of a sudden they don't want to go to places that they might have wanted to go before. So I wanted to raise awareness on the issue of possible instances where child sexual violence can happen, particularly in homes where domestic violence may already be going on. Because let's face it, when adults are going through domestic violence, they may not be able to pay the closest attention to what is happening with a child. So then when a child actually comes forward and reveals these things, we need to take the time to listen, to get help for them, and to help them to journey through this so that they can be feeling as if they are believed, as if they are trusted, as if they are worthy of protection. Then they can begin to journey through that issue and hopefully get help. There have been too many times as a counselor, I am actually the first person who these young adults are now revealing when they went through child sexual abuse in their home or in the homes of their relatives because they did not feel as if they would be believed. So I wanted to raise this awareness as this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I wanted to focus specifically on child safety, and I hope that it helped. I hope that it triggered some conversation that you may have in your home, some discussion you may have with others. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.